Oh hey, it's me, Michael Casimir. Welcome to the Castle Kitchen. You're in the kitchen with Kaz. We are making one of my favorite dishes, roasted Brussels sprouts. It's very easy, and if you haven't had roasted Brussels sprouts before, you haven't lived yet. You're not alive. So I am going to birth you into Brussels sprouts, okay? I've already quartered some stuff up. Some beautiful Brussels sprouts, and we're going to season these. We're going to roast the shit out of them. And then we're also going to make something I haven't tried before, which should be fun. It's going to be a cheesesteak roll-up, like the Philly cheesesteak goodness, all like wrapped up, skewered into these beautiful medallions, and then we're going to eat that with the Brussels sprouts. So I hope you're hungry. Stay tuned. So excited. It's my first cooking show. Because I get nervous, and but it's gonna be really good food. So we've got beef, prosciutto, peppers, Brussels sprouts, provolone, spinach, all getting together to make some awesome Sunday lunch. Check it out. Earlier, you saw me, I took some peppers and I seasoned them with salt and pepper, and I threw them in the oven and roasted the shit out of them. And then I took it and put it in the blender with a little bit of olive oil, red wine vinegar, salt and pepper, and some scallions, and I just pureed it up. So this is actually the finishing garnish for our dish when we're done. So that's the roasted red pepper puree. First things first, we are going to do the Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are super easy, and the problem with Brussels sprouts, here's a little olive oil. The problem with Brussels sprouts growing up as a kid, you know, you're just like, they're Brussels sprouts. They're like frozen, they're just these huge pieces, they're really bitter, and they're really not that great. I mean, you cover them with butter and bacon, of course, okay, I'll deal with vegetables, anybody would, but when you roast them, you get this like really nutty, popcorn-like flavor from the char, and that's the only way to do Brussels sprouts. And you can do them on the stovetop in a pan, or you can roast them in the oven, but I'm going to roast them today and show you how that's done, because it's, again, really easy. So we got salt, pepper, and you don't need to do a lot to these. I mean, the extra salt is good because it kind of gets more into that like movie theater popcorn type of flavor, but garlic powder and onion powder. But you can season them any way you want, because I've done adobo seasoning, and when I'm just kind of in a rush, just hit it with adobo because it's got everything in it. It's got white pepper, salt, pepper, tarragon, onion powder, garlic powder, blah, blah, blah. So, here we go. Toss these, get a good coating on it. Now, a lot of people, when they do Brussels sprouts, they'll like pan roast them really quick, and you know, they'll just kind of get like this very light char on it. And when you do that, normally what you do prior is you blanch them. Is you take boiling water and you just drop them in the boiling water really quick, and it brings out supposedly more color and more vibrant color in it, so that when it's a finished product, you're like, ooh, those are beautiful green Brussels sprouts. But here, we're not doing that. You don't need to do that here because the roasting, you know, is taking a lot of the moisture out of the Brussels sprouts already. So, got that. Spray the pan. Really easy. Get a nice coating on there. Because we're going to be taking these out of the oven and turning them around, moving them around so we get a nice char. Okay? Boom. Shake it out. You got a full pan of roasted sprouts ready to go. Oven set for 375. Okay? And these are going to go right in here. And we're going to char the hell out of them. We're going to give them about 15 minutes or so at 375. Take them, turn them, move them around, probably another 15 minutes, and then you're going to have a really, really great roasted Brussels sprout. So those are in the oven. We're ready to go, and now we're going to go into the cheesesteak roll-up. Didn't realize the camera was still rolling, but I've got moves like Mick Jagger. So the cheesesteak roll-up was really just an idea. So what I did here is I got a London broil for the steak, and the idea is just to kind of create these like pinwheel medallions that we're going to sear off. In order to get this the way we want, you can't just make a pinwheel out of this. This has to be sliced a certain way. We're going to open it up and we're going to actually pound it out and get a nice flat surface for a quick sear.
Sometimes you got to pound it out, right?
Sometimes you have to, because if you don't, you're left without a good pounding. So what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to slice in here. I'm not going to cut all the way through. I'm going to get this. I'm going to start to work my way in here, and if I don't cut all the way through, I can fold this open and create one long piece. Now we're kind of working with something here. We got the beginning of basically essentially a meat wrap, right? So now that this is wide open, okay, we're going to grab some plastic wrap over here. We're going to cover this bad boy. Meat tenderizing, super easy. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be a wuss. It's a piece of cake. You cover this stuff with a piece of plastic and you start working it. This is the coworker that knows your job better than you do, right? Did you get the message about the TPS reports? You know, this is all of that right here and there. This is, I know how to load the dishwasher. Don't you know that I know how to load the dishwasher?
Are you okay?
What's that?
Are you okay? You okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Take a look. It's pretty good. Okay, it's fairly thin. Okay. We're going to work on this for a couple more minutes. In the meantime, here's a message from our sponsor. Thanks, sponsor. That was really enlightening and rich. Here we're back. So we got the steak pounded out as best we can, okay? We're doing this together. I saw the recipe, having fun with it. What I like to do always is something that I love to do, and it could, like the Brussels sprouts obviously are a fan favorite. We love them. And then do something that we haven't done before. A little bit of salt. Pepper, get the other side too. Just again, a little bit of salt because we're adding prosciutto. And prosciutto's salty. Now we're going to start to layer this. Okay, some nice beautiful prosciutto. Now if you don't want to spend the money on prosciutto, it's not super expensive, but at the same time, you can also do it with another salted meat. You can do it
with bologna.
If you want to do it with bologna, you can do it with bologna. I would not do it with bologna. We're going to lay down some spinach here. Okay, some beautiful spinach. You're going to kind of get this green color inside the pinwheel when it's done. which is going to be really nice. We're not going to go too far with this. We're only kind of going halfway up. Now this all has to get rolled up, right? So we have to make sure that everything stays contained. With that being said, the next thing I'm going to add is the sauteed caramelized onions, okay? And I'm just going to try to just kind of spread it out here, not let it clump up too much. And the provolone is going to go last, and you'll see why. I mean, if you're already thinking about how to make this, you already realize that the provolone is going to kind of be like a binder to keep the, you know, all the leaves and the onions and everything contained. And then you take the provolone like that. You're probably like, Mike, what are these? Oh, it's funny you should ask. These are skewers, and I've soaked them in water. And the reason why you soak them in water is because we're going to try to finish these in the oven, and you don't want the tips to burn. It's more of a, you know, more of a presentation effect than anything, but sometimes, like, if you're cooking something for a long time on a skewer, the tips are, everything is going to burn, because it's wood. They're made of wood. So you soak them, and that helps keep them intact for a lot longer. Alright, Brussels sprouts. Okay, check it out. Alexa, stop. You can already see it's starting to char. We're starting to get the colors and stuff, but we've just started. So we're just going to grab a spatula here. Okay, we're just going to move things around a little bit, make the change. So, little toss, and back in the oven. And we're going to set a timer for another 15 minutes and see how we're doing. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Starting now.
Thanks, pal. And we are working on rolling this bad boy up. We're going to have to start tight like a tiger. Okay? Okay? You can't not do this without getting your hands dirty. Okay? Roll, roll, roll. Okay? And this is where we're at. Let's see, the bottom flap is here. Okay? I'm going to take one of our toothpicks. And we're going to work right through here. Right through to the other side. Okay, and I'm setting these about, what is that, like 1.5 inches?
Yeah.
Apart? Yeah. Okay. And we're working our way through here because when we cut these, the medallion's going to be like this. We're going to cut through each one of these. So now we have what should be a fairly well contained wrap. Okay. Now we take a look at that. We got a seasoned beef, the prosciutto. Okay, kind of rolled up there into a little beautiful medallion. Nice. So there are your pinwheels, okay? Not too bad, you know, obviously your first time around, maybe you want to pound the meat out thinner or use a skirt steak or top round or anything like that, but these are going to get seared on both sides. Okay, so we got to try to lock in as much as we can of all the flavor inside, and then they'll get finished off in the oven. In the meantime, we got hot oil. Okay. Let these cook down for a little bit. And we'll give them a good flip. And get them ready for the oven. Looks take a peek. Alright, see what's happening in there? Yep. The sprouts are turning up nicely. These have been going now for a few minutes. Probably about 5 minutes on each side is what you want. We're going to turn one over and see how we're doing. Yeah, see that? You got a nice char. And what it's doing is holding in that the wrap that we made. That inside layer. Because sometimes if you do this and you just roll the whole thing, if you roll the whole thing and then throw it in the oven, all that cheese is going to melt out the side. This way, now, yeah, look at that thick thing. Woo! And let this cook for a couple minutes. Same way, about 4 to 5 minutes, depending on how well you like it. And then they'll go into the oven and we'll finish them off that way. So we're going to have a bed of Brussels sprouts, and we're going to have a nice cheesesteak roll-up medallion sitting on top of that, and that's going to be your Sunday lunch.
Are you flossing, Mike?
Yeah. How am I doing?
Great.
Okay. Oh my god. The kitchen smells so good right now. Caramelized onions, prosciutto, steak, spinach, provolone, all in there doing its thing. Get a little bit of this stuff out of here. Let's see what's going on here. Oh my god. Alright, we're gonna eat that in a second because why not? I'm gonna get these other steaks going. We're gonna check the Brussels sprouts. Come on in. Take a look. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Now, you have a finished Brussels sprout here. This is ready to go. All these charred pieces and stuff like that are just gonna do so nice. Okay. And then it's up to you if you want to go darker. At this point now, you just throw them in and keep them in there for like 5 minutes at a time, and then you can just say, okay, and I'm going to throw them in there for another 5 minutes. All right, this is that piece. This has got, it's basically, there's some ham in there, caramelized onion, and the cheese. Oh. Oh, sorry, it's still there. You got lost there for a second. We are done. This is the final product on the Brussels sprouts. You got a nice deep roasted char, seasoned salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. Okay? You get that nuttiness, that nutty popcorn-like flavor from the char on the roast. And we're good to go there. Here are the rest of the steaks. We're going to throw these in the oven for about 5 or 10 minutes because we want to just get a little cook through all the way through. So we're going to start plating now, and you could do this any way you want. You could just throw it all in a bowl for all I care. It's not my dinner. I don't know what you're talking about. But you can do this a couple different ways. So I'll show you two. Remember when I was talking about the roasted red pepper puree? This is it. You could do something funky like this, or you can do a little, and then, right? You can do that. Make it pretty. You go that way. You do whatever you want. And then you lay the medallion on there, or you wait for the medallion to show, because it's coming. You lay it on there, and then you top it with roasted red pepper. Alright, we're checking the steak. Okay. Boom. Okay. Got some beautiful pieces here. We're going to do an internal check. Check the temperature. 133, 135. This one's 160. This is well done. Okay. little balsamic reduction. Just to give you a little savory sweet business. Okay. You can do this any way you want. So now you have two flavor profiles that are exactly the same. They just look different. So, alright. And now we're going to cut into this. It's going to be awesome. Roasted Brussels sprouts, cheese steak, roll up with prosciutto, spinach, provolone, and caramelized onions, and a roasted red pepper puree. Enjoy, happy eating. See you next time at the castle.